In a recent speech, the Transportation Minister of Spain, Oscar Puente, declared that, in his opinion, Donald Trump and Javier Milei were bad persons. My question is, why there are politicians that, instead of analyzing the opponents, classify them as a good or bad person? What are the reasons behind the way these comments are constructed? And such reasons are logical reason, or maybe they come from other perspectives that maybe are wrong. Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, has been accused, as well as Donald Trump, the ex-president of the United States, several times of being of extreme right. And none of these accusations or critics, in my opinion, are correct. Let's analyze why. First, defining Donald Trump or Javier Milei extreme right is profoundly wrong, and it shows a lot of ignorance, because extreme right is another thing, and they do not represent extreme right. In the particular case of Javier Milei, we could consider him a libertarian, not liberal in the same way it is portrayed in the United States. In the United States, usually liberals are the socialists, but under the real meaning of the term, a liberal or libertarian is somebody that wants the people free to do with their life, with their investments, basically what they want. Javier Milei has the liberal idea and is guided by his liberal idea. At the same time, is conservative. He has some strict position regarding abortion and other rights, but basically is a liberal person. Donald Trump has some similarity with Mr. Milei. Donald Trump is a conservative, a traditional conservative. Probably his vision is a little bit more interventionistic in the economy, but at the same time, and with the same reasoning that we do for Javier Milei, in both cases, we are not talking about people of extreme right. So, why the leftist propaganda is portraying Trump and Milei in such way? What are the reasons behind that? Well, there are several reasons. The first one is that the leftists usually, when they do not have arguments to criticize the opponent, they use the stigmatization of extreme right. So, when they are short of arguments, immediately extreme right. So, when they use the extreme right stigma, they close the discussion. The second reason is that the history of the left is a very autocratic way of understanding the society. The leftists see the society by understanding the freedom of the people in a very limitative way, in a very autocratic way. So, having somebody that is liberal and is more willing and more preoccupied of the well-being of the people, sometimes is in open contrast with the original ideas of the left. So, the left are used to classify or to have limitation on the freedom of citizens. So, and they have the current leftist movement, they have inherited that from the old Soviet regime. Finally, they are the same. They are the evolution that occurred since the Berlin Wall fell down. And this is the second reason why they are not open to accepting other points of view different from the one that they are sponsoring. Then there is another factor. In some case, leftists criticize because they probably didn't study well the history. So they are more limited in their analysis. They have an image that is a portrayed image of the left and what it could be in the society, but they didn't really study history, because you could not classify Mr. Milei nor Trump of being extreme right when they are not. And then, in my opinion, there is also a little bit of behavior that finally are or show that the person is uneducated. Because how can you say that a person is bad, in the particular case of an ex-president or a new president, when you didn't study well the history and what happened in that country? In the particular case of Mr. Trump, he has been one of the presidents of the United States that started less wars, or that he didn't get involved in any wars. If we compare the activity of Mr. Trump with other presidents, you could come to the conclusion that other presidents, maybe Obama, maybe Clinton, maybe Bush, they started more conflicts around the world than Mr. Trump. So You classify somebody of a bad person when actually he did all possible do not get the United States involved in any conflicts around the world. So that shows also a little mistake of analysis of that person. So instead of putting up a good discussion between left and right, between freedom of people, between the future, sometimes leftist politicians like to stigmatize, to use cliché in order to limiting the point of view of the opponent and to classifying the opponent what actually in real terms the opponent is not. But I hope you liked this analysis. Please subscribe to the channel and I'm looking forward to have you in my next presentation. Thank you.